Hey guys, on Old Sleds today we're going to talk about rebuilding a fuel pump. This one happens to be on a 1986 Indy Trail, but a lot of sleds use a Mikuni fuel pump, and you can see I've already removed the carburetors and the air box, and the fuel pump goes down here. And sometimes, now this sled is 30 some odd years old, they will go bad. I thought to rebuild it because this is your impulse line, which sends impulses of air to the pump, which will move the diaphragms, which sucks fuel from the tank. And normally there's not going to be fuel in this impulse line, and I happen to have a clear line, and I noticed fuel. It's like, well, maybe it's time to rebuild the pump. Plus, it just wasn't idling quite right. Not sure if that was a problem or not. So anyway, I've removed the fuel pump. This is an assembled one from a different model. This isn't exactly for the 86 Indy Trail. But as you can see, I've torn apart the one here. You can get a rebuild kit for about $6-7 plus shipping. And it's going to come with some of these different gaskets and fresh diaphragms. And another gasket here. And a couple of these tiny little discs, 2 of these, and then some. You can see this one's a couple, I'll just call them rubber nipples. That one's in 2 pieces. They really are in 1, but to get them out, you really need to kind of grab it on one side and punch it through the other. This is the inside of your fuel pump. You're going to put one of those discs and one of those little rubber nipples through there on that side, and you can see it comes in from the other side here. And there's that other disc and nipple there. When you pull off the old gaskets, just scrape it off good, make sure there's no residue there. Maybe some emery cloth, maybe a razor blade. Make sure everything's nice and clean. And I also recommend, while you have everything off, go ahead and replace the fuel lines, because it's kind of a big job once it's all in the snowmobile. But yeah, I've got this one ready to be put back together, but these things are not something to be afraid of. The end result is something like this that you put back on the machine and then hook up your carburetors. Just make sure you remember where each line goes, because one is going to be the impulse line, again taking a pulse of air from the crankcase to suck fuel from the tank, and then there's going to be an intake line coming from your fuel tank. One thing I failed to mention, I turned off the fuel before I did this job to make sure nothing was going to leak on the floor. And there are also little arrows on the, I don't know if you can see those, little arrows there. See, that one comes in, and once it goes back together, you'll be able to tell. See, like this one, you can see the arrow in, that's coming in from your tank. And then these 2 go out to your carburetors. So it'll vary on different sleds, but it's pretty much the same. And again, this is a Mikuni carbureted and fuel pump sled, so it's all going to work. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to somebody, and you guys have a great day and keep those old sleds running.